Hello and welcome to Vegas Aces. I'm Heather Ferris and I'll be your host for today. And we are joined with a special guest, Bennie Mancino. Thank you so much for being on. It's really, really good to have you on today.
Thanks for having me on, Heather.
No problem. And can you please tell people a little bit more about yourselves and where they can find you? I know you have a YouTube channel, so if you guys can, go check out his YouTube channel, like, subscribe, make sure you subscribe. Where can they find you, Bennie?
They can find me on YouTube, but be in the know, because I'm the B, right? So of the know. And we try to give table games related information, actually all gaming related information. We try to have people known throughout the industry and give you advice on career path, how they got where they're at. We have table games inventors, we have marketing people. So join us, check the channel out, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. And, it's just my way of paying it forward to the industry I love. And hopefully you'll gain some knowledge from it.
Oh, you gain a lot of knowledge from your videos. Like every time I watch your video, I always learn something new. And I really appreciate that you put that out there.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. So thank you for being on, because you are going to share some of that knowledge today. And today we are going to be talking about how to improve if you are a floor supervisor. So I am really excited to get into this and learn some of that knowledge that we were talking about.
Yeah, and it's a very interesting time when you first join the floor supervisor ranks. Some places do the training and the onboarding much better than others, and sometimes you're left out there in an island. And to be the best you can be, you really need to start off on a good foot. So if you don't get that initial onboarding or help or direction that you need, well, there's only one choice, and that's get it yourself. And there's a lot of resources now. It's, before I had to go to the gambler's bookstore in a pretty seedy neighborhood and buy these books to learn how to be a better floor supervisor and learn the games. You can find all this information basically for free on the internet. It's there. I just found Anthony Cabots' book on casino math from UNLV. It was sitting in the web free of charge. So the information's out there, and to be the best supervisor you can be, you're just like as a dealer. And I said this in an earlier video we did on dealers and how to get better, that you got to practice. I said, even me as a director, vice president, corporate vice president, I have flashcards on my phone. I have flashcards for the shuffle. At one point in time, I was overseeing 4 different properties with 4 different shuffles. And it was very important to know, what's the house shuffle? What's basic strategy? Basic strategy, you got to set it to memory. Well, sometimes you can't do that when you're busy. So you need to use flashcards to remind yourself, what's that guy doing? Should he be doing that? Should he be doubling that ace-2 against a 4? Well, you know if you practice basic strategy. And so there's a lot of little things you can do to become a better supervisor.
I think you bring up a really great point there, that when you're trying to be a better supervisor, when you're trying to be a better floor supervisor, you go about it in steps. And one of the steps that you do that I think a lot of people skip is I have seen people, and I swear to God, it just blows my mind. They come in, they know blackjack, they only know blackjack, and then the next week they're dual rate for a floor supervisor. And I'm like, what games are you going to put them on besides blackjack? They don't know any of the games. So I think it's important that if you want to be a good floor supervisor, the first thing that you do is you're a dealer. You learn all of the games and you try to be the best dealer you possibly can be. So that way when you become a floor supervisor, you actually know, hey, this is what the actual payout is, or this is what they should be doing.
And you're absolutely 100% correct. That, especially right now, with the labor shortage as it is, there's properties and that'll throw anybody into a section in games that they absolutely have no clue on. Then a problem happens, and they write them up for it. And I'm like, wait a minute. You don't know roulette. You put him in the section, write yourself up. I've told a ship manager that before. I said, you put him in that section, you write yourself up. Don't write him up. I said, you need to train him and help him get better. And that's the thing nowadays. Like I said, you're right. You hit it right on the nail head. Before you accept that position, first floor position, know that you're ready. Just don't think that, we used to call it suit fever back in the day. Just think that because you put on a suit and a tie, that automatically, miraculously, that suit is magical and will give you all the information you need. It just does not. Right. And to be a kick butt supervisor, you need to know the games that you're supervising. And don't be afraid. I would much rather a supervisor come to me and say, listen, man, I just don't know this game, and I don't feel comfortable in being in that section. Now, granted, you'll get this 20-year supervisor, right? That he just don't like craps anymore, and he don't want to go over there and sit there. So he'll tell you he don't know it, And I don't know. Maybe I pulled that card once in a while, just because I didn't. I'll tell you the honest truth. I went to this property that had so much baccarat action. It was out of control. There was people on top of people on top of people on top of people. And it was just a nightmare. And all of a sudden, I got amnesia about baccarat. I couldn't remember, how I thought all the 10s had their value, but and so they didn't put me over there. But realistically, though, if you want to better your career, know every game that you're supervising. And like I said, don't be afraid to if somebody gives you a problem because you tell them you don't know a game, then you need to probably sharpen the resume up and start looking elsewhere.
Yeah, definitely. And what are some other ways floor supervisors could be better at their job and what they do?
Here comes that crazy guy. It's taking my video. I don't know what's going on here.
I swear it's the Borg.
Yeah.
You got their interest.
Well, you're into that Star Trek stuff, so that's. But I believe the audio is coming through. So anyway, that's the main thing, and what there's so many things you can do as a supervisor, but we ask so much of our supervisors now. Number one thing that everybody's going to be looking at is how well you treat the guests. You got to be out there, and if you're not a people person, it's going to be a tough position for you to be in nowadays because it's getting more and more where the customers are. The old model used to be 75% game protection. Maybe 15% procedure, and maybe 10% customer service. Well, that number don't work anymore. So that it's totally turned to where we're 65% doing something to make the guest experience better, and then the other 35% would be procedures and administrative work like putting fills and credits on the game. You gotta, like I said, go in there with a great attitude every day. Come in, do something to get yourself in your zone. I used to role play, I know you can't believe this, Heather, that I would role play, but that's today was the day I was going to be, from the city, and not going not to talk like this to the guests. And you're from I'm Calabrese, and I'm from here. And I put myself in character, and that's how I got through the day on a job that I really didn't like. I enjoyed it. So put yourself in the mode. Put yourself in the mood that will be conducive to customer service, because you're really going to need that. A lot of the things that like I said, a lot of the protection has been taken away. We've got such good software, casino management software, I can tell when you update the rack where the chips have went. The surveillance has gotten 40 times better than it was back in the 80s. So, I mean, your main focus got to be on the guest, and number two is supporting your dealers, right? If you can't support your dealers with the knowledge, and if you just like throw your hands up in the air when they're sitting there struggling with a payoff, that's not going to do anybody no good.
Yeah, no, I completely agree 100%. As a dealer, that was one of the things that made me feel a lot better, knowing that my floor supervisor had my back. And if they saw me doing anything I wasn't supposed to do, instead of coming over and, being rude, they would, teach me, this is how you're supposed to do it. This is why you don't do it this way. And that is really invaluable when you're a new dealer and you're learning all this.
And one tip that I used when I started watching dealers, especially in a place where they're not quite as experienced, and really that might be any place now. Mm-hmm. There was a time and place I walked into the Mirage with 8 years experience and wanted a crap dealing job, and I thought I was pretty hot. I thought I was a great dealer, and they just said, "Come see us when you have 10 years." Well, that ain't the case anymore. There's dealers with 4 months dealing craps probably at the Mirage right now. So, so as a floor supervisor, now you're really experienced. You get in there and you get some of these people, and they make a lot of mistakes, and you start to get frustrated. Just take, they say if you give yourself 10 seconds, that your brain comes back to normal. But if you don't, you may say something or do something that you don't want to, and we've got enough challenging us in this day and age with the COVID and everything that's going on. We don't need to be barking at the staff. So, like I said, take a few minutes, get your thoughts together, and then go. And like you said, Heather, bring them when they come off the game, not on the game. Unless the only time you would make a quick action to correct a dealer on the game is if they're making a monetary mistake. You're not going to let that happen if you see it. But anything else, a little bit of bad card placement, when they come off the game, talk to them. That's when you should do it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and everything. And I always love talking with you when you come on. And I always learn something new every single time I talk with you. So thank you so much. And where can people find you again?
A couple places, like I said, we got the YouTube channel, which I'm very proud of, and I got to get back to work on, but I've been so busy with getting ready to go to this new gig I got. And we will get some new content up, promise you. But there's so much old content, go check it out. That's Be in the Know at YouTube. You can also find me on LinkedIn. If you got a question, private message me on LinkedIn. I'll be glad to answer. I'm not going to tell everybody that you work for that you asked the question or whatever. You got a question, come to me and I'll definitely get you an answer. Also, I had a consulting business, which I'm closing up right now, but that site's still up. You can go to tgops.com and you can email me directly from there.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And we hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you next time. Bye.